The Oscars are tomorrow, so right now I'm going to try to predict who will win each of the 23 awards, and then I'm also going to give you who I personally would pick. Before I get started, fair warning, this video has no script. This is just me rambling, so this might suck. We'll see. Also, I was able to see 9 of the 10 Best Picture nominees. The one I was not able to see was I'm Still Here because it released so late in the US. It was not available to stream, and to actually see it in a theater, I would have had to drive like an hour out. I cannot drive, and neither of my parents wanted to drive me an hour to see this Brazilian film up for Best Picture. So, apologies. It is what it is. Okay, let's start with Best Live Action Short Film. The nominees are Alien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. I have seen one of these. I've seen I'm Not a Robot. So by default, I have to pick that. I thought it was all right. I think the concept is fantastic. I think it should have been more of a comedy. I think if this had been more of a less of a dark comedy and more of just an outright comedy, it would have actually been quite a bit better. Um, but what I am predicting to win is Alien. I could also see The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent winning. Alien just feels like the type of film that the Oscars like, so I think it'll win. Next up, we have Best Documentary Short Film. The nominees are Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I have seen 3 of these, being Death by Numbers, Incident, and Instruments of a Beating Heart. I personally, it's tough because I really, really like Death by Numbers, but I think I would vote for Instruments of a Beating Heart. All of the other nominees are like really, really depressing, and Instruments of a Beating Heart is just so freaking cute. It's just like a class of first graders who are preparing to do a music performance for the new class of first graders when they graduate into second grade. And it's kind of amazing how something so small scale it actually makes feel like pretty large scale. Like I was actually like, oh no, are they gonna do it? So I don't know. I really like that one. My whole family just started watching it with me because it was just such a nice little pleasant thing. But I'm going to predict that Incident wins. Again, this just feels like the Academy's type of short film. Um, I guess I could also see Death by Numbers, I'm Ready Warden. Um, actually, I could see any of these winning, but I'm gonna predict Incident wins. Next up is Best Animated Short Film. The nominees are Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, I think is how you pronounce that, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck. I have seen 2 of these, being Beautiful Men and Magic Candies. I personally would pick Magic Candies. I thought this was a really sweet short film, no pun intended. Um, and it's funny because when I first heard Magic Candies, I kid you not, I thought that this was about drugs. It is not. At least I don't think it is. But it's about a boy who buys a little bag of candies, and each of them has like a specific pattern. And if he, like for instance, one of them has the pattern of his couch. He eats the one with the pattern of his couch, he can start to speak to his couch, and so on and so forth. I thought this was really, really nice. I'm actually also gonna predict this to win. Um, I want to say also I could see Yuck winning. The only other one that I've seen is Beautiful Men, which I thought was okay. Um, but I think Magic Candies feels like a winner here to me. All right, so now I'm gonna go through some of the technical categories before we get to more of the big above the line categories like picture, director, actor, all that. Starting with best visual effects, the nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Um, I what I would pick is really tough because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has great visual effects, and Alien Romulus, other than the Ian Holmes thing, has really good visual effects. But I cannot deny Dune Part 2. Like that's just some great I mean, I got to see Dune Part 2 opening night at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. And what an experience that was. And like those visual effects like absolutely pop on a screen like that. I actually also saw Alien Romulus in the Chinese Theater. Um but I think it's between Dune and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but I give the edge to Dune 2. Also just because I want to see Dune win things. I also am going to predict Dune 2 to win. Next up is Best Sound. The nominees are A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I am going to pick and predict Dune Part 2. I don't really see anything else here coming close. Maybe A Complete Unknown. I could see that possibly winning, but I really think it's Dune Part 2. By the way, I don't know why The Substance isn't here. Like, I got my mom to watch The Substance with me. That was a crazy experience. Um, in like, The Substance has freaking great sound design. We both agreed. We're like, how is this not in sound? Like, the sound is part of, like, what makes that movie so good. Then we have Best Costume Design. The nominees are A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I'm going to pick and predict Wicked. I think Wicked has really good costume design. I could see maybe Conclave coming in and winning. Conclave also has really good costume design. Um, but I mean, let's not get it. Wicked's got like this is pretty much the Wicked award. Then we have Best Makeup and Hairstyling. The nominees are A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. This is among the easiest categories of the night. The Substance has this. Like, The Substance has some of the best hair and makeup I've seen in recent years. And I mean, it's like largely like again like that, the sound design, the editing. That's what makes The Substance so great. Then we have Best Production Design. The nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. As much as I would like to pick The Brutalist, the entire like AI thing of using AI to think of buildings for the movie, it kind of eliminates that for me because like when your entire movie is about architecture and you use a robot to think of buildings, that's kind of a turnoff for me. I think my runner up here would probably be um like Conclave. This is a really good category, honestly. Conclave was very, very impressive. I know a lot of people thought that they were like, how did they get permission to actually film on site for this? It's just that the production design is that good. But again, I'm not gonna kid myself here. I'm picking and predicting Wicked. Wicked, like watching the movie, you can tell, and then you see. I'll put like an image like right here. Like you see the freaking awesome production design. Like they built like massive, massive sets for that thing. Then we have Best Film Editing, one of the worst categories of the night because of these nominees, I would have thrown out like 3 of them. The nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Before I get into my pick and prediction, I just want to say, why is Emilia Perez and Wicked here? I like 100% get those out, throw in The Substance. The Substance should be here. This is a total snub. And Challenger should also be here. And I might even throw out Conclave in favor of Dune Part 2. Because Dune Part 2 also, why is that not here? I don't understand. Anyway, I would pick The Brutalist. Like, The Brutalist just, like, has this flow to it. Even though it's, like, 3 hours and 35 minutes long, movie ends, I'm like, how did that much time just pass? A really, really good job in editing. I am going to predict Conclave. I'm not super mad about this. Conclave does have very good editing. Would I pick it? No. As I said before, I might even take it out. It would probably be number 6 for me. Then I could also see Anora winning. Watch out for that. Then we have Best Cinematography. The nominees are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Right out of the gate, I will say Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu do not matter. Throw those out. None of those are going to win. For my pick, um, the Brutalist and Dune Part 2, they're just, both of them have phenomenal, phenomenal cinematography. Like, just absolutely incredible stuff. I would be totally fine with either one of these winning. However, I am going to pick Dune Part 2. I'm going to predict the Brutalist. Um, I give the edge to Dune 2 slightly because of the fact that, like, it just, I mean, again, it might be that, like, I watched The Brutalist on my computer and I watched Dune Part 2 on, like, a 50-foot tall movie screen. But, like, even, like, when we got out of the theater, even my dad goes for, like, enjoyment value of films. He is not the one that's like, oh, I thought the sound design was spectacular. That's just not him. And, like, cinematography also, he really just doesn't notice it when he watches a movie. But, like, even my dad, when we got out, was like, that movie had great cinematography. I'm like, yes, father, you are correct. That did have fantastic cinematography. So I would vote for that. But The Brutalist, I think, will win, and I have no problems with this. The Brutalist is super, super well shot. Gorgeous 35 millimeter. I love the blend. It uses, like, these very, like earthy, like, browns, greens, and blues. And, like, it's a really, really pleasing film to look at. It's got very good cinematography. I have no problem with this winning. Then we have Best Original Song, which is, again, one of the worst categories, which has El Mal from Emilia Perez, The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, and Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. Unlike last year, where there were, like, 2 or 3 of these that I actually really, really liked and, like, would have been fine with winning, there are none of these that I actually, like, love. Even who I would vote for, I think, is just kind of, like, it's a good song, but it's not great. With that said, I would probably vote for The Journey from the 6888. That's the song that I like the most. It would be fun to see it win because of the fact that Diane Warren, like, still has not won an Oscar. I think this is her 16th nomination. I actually saw Diane Warren in person. My dad and I were actually, again, in Hollywood, we were at Pink's, and Diane Warren randomly showed up. So that was cool. And, it'd be nice to see her finally win. With that said, she isn't going to win. I think El Mal from Emilia Perez will win. Then we have Best Original Score. The nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I don't know what Emilia Perez is doing here. This is, like, I don't even remember the soundtrack to this movie. Anyway, I think I would like to see The Wild Robot win. There is, like, specifically, like, the scenes where he's learning how to fly, just, like, the score, and just, like, DreamWorks knows how to, like, match, like, beautiful visuals to, like, absolutely fantastic music, and this is no exception. I would love to see this win, but I'm gonna predict The Brutalist wins. I have no problem with The Brutalist winning. It's also really, really good. It's probably my number 2. Even though I would like to see The Wild Robot win, I'm fine with The Brutalist winning, and this kind of seems to be sweeping so far, so I think this is probably a lock at this point. Then we have Best Documentary Feature Film. The nominees are Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, I think is how you say that, and Sugarcane. I will not pick anything because I have seen nothing here. I will probably watch Sugarcane today if I have time. But I'm going to predict No Other Land. That seems to kind of be the favorite. I could also see Porcelain War winning. I'm not going to spend too much time on this category, though, because I know pretty much nothing about most of these. Then we have Best Animated Feature Film. The nominees are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. It's really tough. I've seen 3 of them. I've seen The Wild Robot, Inside Out 2, and Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Um, I really, really, really liked Inside Out 2. I thought that was a fantastic movie. But I think I would give it to The Wild Robot solely on account of, I just think it'd be cool to see Wild Robot win. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, just because the original won, the sequel shouldn't win. But like in this case, where it's like they're like neck and neck, I think I'd give the edge just a little bit to the original film in here. Even though I think I might like Inside Out a little bit more. I'm also gonna predict the Wild Robot wins. I could see Flo coming in here and winning. But The Wild Robot is just a beautiful, beautiful film. Then we have Best International Feature Film. The nominees are Emilia Perez from France, Flo from Latvia, The Girl with the Needle from Denmark, I'm Still Here from Brazil, and The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany. Um, I'm gonna. I've only seen Emilia Perez. I'm gonna pick and predict I'm Still Here. Again, I haven't seen I'm Still Here, so it's kind of cheating to be like, this is what I'd vote for. But from what I've seen, it's very, very good. And like, part of me still feels like, no, it's going to be Emilia Perez. I was going back and forth between who I thought was going to win, but I'm ultimately going to predict I'm Still Here just because I really want that to happen. Emilia Perez would be, actually, it would especially be a terrible international feature film winner because the fact that, like, Mexico has, like, disowned the film. Like, they do not like this movie. So for this movie about Mexicans to win international for France, would be really, really stupid. And Brazil has been campaigning for I'm Still Here. They want that thing to win. And you know what? Let's give it to the Brazilians. I can't remember the last time they won international. So, good luck to you, Brazil. All right, now time for the more above the line categories. We're getting there. I'm going to start with Best Adapted Screenplay. I don't love this category. I'm not really a fan of. I mean, really, two of the nominees I think are like decent. The nominees though are A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. I've seen everything except for Sing Sing. Um, I I think I'd probably vote for A Complete Unknown. I thought that was a pretty good screenplay. Nickel Boys is also a very good screenplay. Um, but I think Conclave's gonna win, which really ticks me off because I did not like Conclave at all. But it is what it is. Then we have Best Original Screenplay. Unlike Adapted, this is a great category. The nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I would easily take The Substance. The Substance has one of the wackiest, craziest, most like insane like premises in modern years. I love this thing. A fantastic screenplay from Coralie Farge, I think is how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Um, I think Anora is going to win. That's like a screenplay movie, and granted, the screenplay is one of the best parts of Anora. Um, but I could see The Substance sneaking in there. Then we have Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Yura Borisov, I probably butchered that, for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Um, I I actually I would like to see Edward Norton win this. I think that'd be great. I was actually really blown away by him in that movie. He is my favorite performance in that film. I would also love to see Guy Pearce win or Yura Borisov. But who will win is Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. He's like sweeping award season, same as Robert Downey Jr. last year. But you know what? I'm fine with that. Okay, he's great in it. Even if he's probably like my fourth choice of the four nominees I've seen, this is a really good category. Then we have Best Supporting Actress. I have seen all of these. The nominees are Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. I would pick Ariana Grande, even though I also really like Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande is just a ton of fun in Wicked. I'm kind of sad that she isn't winning because I'm going to predict Zoe Saldana is sweeping. Again, similar to Divine Joy Randolph last year. Um, she's definitely the best part of Amelia Perez. I just don't really want to see Amelia Perez win anything. Then we have Best Actor in a Leading Role. The nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. I would pick Adrian Brody. He is phenomenal in The Brutalist. One of the best acting performances of the 2020s, I think. I'm also going to predict him. I could see Chalamet winning. I could actually see Coleman Domingo being a sneaky winner here. But Adrian Brody is just a force to be reckoned with in that movie, and I really, really hope that he wins. It's a great performance. Then we have Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. I could see Mikey Madison and Fernando Torres winning, but I'm going to pick and predict Demi Moore for The Substance. She is kind of the heart and soul of this film. She's like two halves of the same whole. Her and Margaret Qualley, who should have been nominated, by the way, over Rossellini. But just like a tour de force. This is her best performance by far. And I really, really want to see her take this, and I think she will. She's won almost everything she needs to win. I think the only thing she didn't win is BAFTA, but she won. Actually, no, she didn't win the Golden Globe either, did she? Fernanda Torres could also. I think if I'm Still Here wins international, Fernanda Torres's chances go up, which would be a really interesting thing. I haven't seen the film, but I wouldn't mind Fernanda Torres winning. But with that said, I really, really would like to see Demi Moore take it for The Substance. Then we have Best Director. The nominees are Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Farge for The Substance. Then we have Best Director. The nominees are Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Farge for The Substance. I don't know why Jacques Audiard is here. I've made my thoughts on Amelia Perez very clear. It sucks. And also, Denis Villeneuve. Why is Denis Villeneuve not here? Anyway, I would pick Brady Corbet. The Brutalist is a monumental film, and I think he definitely has the most impressive direction here. With that said, I sadly don't think he's gonna win. Really, all he has to his name is the Golden Globe. But Sean Baker, he won DGA. He won I can't remember if he won BAFTA, but he won DGA. And that DGA is normally a precursor to Best Director. So, like, I don't totally mind this, but in my opinion, it's definitely not the best direction here. And finally, we have the big one, Best Picture. The nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. As I said, I've seen 9 of these. I've seen everything except for I'm Still Here. I am going to pick Dune Part 2. It's really close between this and The Brutalist, but Dune Part 2 is just that good. Really, really impressive. As I said, Denis Villeneuve should be here. Go watch. The Academy should have paid more attention to this. But I'm going to predict Anora. I think Anora won DGA, PGA, BAFTA. No, sorry. Anora won PGA, DGA, and Critics' Choice, which is a pretty good haul, and I think gives this the edge. I could also see Conclave or The Brutalist winning. But Anora looks like it's going to be our Best Picture winner, and you know what? That's fine. It's a decent film. I don't totally mind it. Would I vote for it? Not in a million years, but anything's better than Conclave and Amelia Perez. All right, let's see how many I got right. I will do a reaction video tomorrow and probably post it whenever I get around to editing it. I'm excited. Last year was very predictable, and this year there's a lot of uncertainty. So, good luck to the nominated films. Let's see you win.